episode 608.
Feeling great.
Feeling great. Feel like $1 million. $1 million.
But you know what? $1 million doesn't get you very far in this economy.
That is so true. It wasn't.
Oh my God.
What it used to
I
be.
mean, this was not at all what we were planning on talking about, but I opened up Zillow, or like Zillow sent me a like, hey, how about this house kind of thing.
Yeah.
That was on the street that I grew up, like my mom and dad's like second house, like first house that they owned in an area called Canoga Park in.
You're kidding me.
And it was on the same street. Guess I think my mom and dad bought it for. I mean, couldn't be over $100,000. Couldn't be. It might have been $75,000. Like it. What?
Yeah.
Guess how much that house is going for? 2 bedrooms, 1 bath.
2 bedrooms, 1 bath.
Canoga Park.
Canoga Park. Oh God. I don't know that area. 1.5 million?
Oh my God. Yep, you're just about right.
Really?
1.3. I couldn't even believe it. I was like, my entry, like my parents' entry. This was
their starter home.
Starter of starter homes.
Yeah.
With nothing.
Isn't that crazy?
Updated.
Peg and Palmeister, they...
Peg and Pal, stop being sneaky hilarious when I'm about to take a sip of wine.
Spit take. They bought their house in, I think it was 1967, and my mom still lives there. They bought theirs for $15,000.
Oh my God, I almost flashed our Patreon people because I'm definitely not wearing anything under here. They actually might have seen a little nip because I almost had to like cover my mouth.
We're going to have to do slow motion and
you actually will, because I definitely know you saw some tattoo there. You might have seen some nip. 100%.
Wow.
Oh, but
lucky us.
You're paying for it, so it's what you can.
Wow. It's like OnlyFans.
That is, Suze, I can't believe that price.
Right?
$15,000. That's like
really
what I won on my first season of the challenge.
See, you could have lived right there.
I could have bought
Pittsburgh suburbs.
Also a time machine. How much would that be?
Wow. I mean, even when they told me that, when I was a kid, even then it felt like, holy heck, that is insane.
Like a lot of money? Or not?
No. I thought
even then you felt like that was not a lot.
I can't believe that.
Right.
Yeah.
$15,000. Like the cost for like the cost of a Chanel bag.
Right?
Isn't that fucking crazy? That like a house that how many fucking people? 7 people lived in.
That's right. 7 human beings.
Lived in a house that is the price of a designer bag. Stop!
It's about the size of a designer bag. I mean, even though 7 people lived there, it was like, I don't know, 1,000 square feet of livable space, It is so small. I don't know how we did that.
Wow.
It's so dysfunctional. Anyway, home prices, man. Inflation. What's the deal with inflation?
What's the deal?
Welcome to episode 608. Did I say that? I don't even know.
Yeah,
Brain Candy Podcast.
We can say it again. We're proud.
I'll
excited.
say it like several more times throughout this episode. Anything we need to talk about before I launch into my
business?
notes?
Any order of business? No.
Yeah.
I mean, give me some info, Suze. Lay it on me, sister.
Oh, you do have to watch the Tony Hawk documentary.
Oh, I am so excited to see that.
Yeah, that's right up
him.
your alley.
He just seems like a cool guy.
Yeah, he seems like a cool guy for sure. Although,
and I love the whole story about people not knowing that it's Tony Hawk and like saying that he looks like Tony Hawk. Or
yeah, well, how did that become his thing? I guess that's like his Twitter shtick.
It's so funny because people like play like they know of Tony Hawk, but they don't know.
Well, and I think because he looks like just like a guy.
A guy.
Like, Tony Hawk looks like just man.
Yeah, like Avatar for man.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk. Yeah.
As you know, I do not love sports. I do not love skateboarding. But as you also know, I do love a sports documentary.
Yes. I love this about you.
Love it. And so I was like, oh, I got to watch this. Why? I don't know. I don't know any of the people in it. But like, it looked really good, and it was. I highly recommend it. I do have a theory.
Go. Yes.
I want to know from anybody that's listening that's an expert on the spectrum and autism. I keep making a list from my best friend Kelly, who's in that field, of like people I suspect are on the spectrum that aren't like just don't know or haven't said that. I definitely think Tony Hawk is on the spectrum, like Asperger level.
Okay, I'm interested too.
I think
a lot more people maybe even know, but it's just not public.
Yeah, like why are they going to make an announcement?
Yeah, because you know who else came out in that same way is, I want to say, Chris Rock.
Yes, he didn't
did. Say that he has.
He did say he was diagnosed.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
On the spectrum. Yeah. Yeah. But he didn't know until a couple years ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh God, it's very helpful for people to get that diagnosis. And
yeah, because if you are on that sort of like Asperger end, which I know they don't even call it that anymore, but
even though as a medical, I think they should. I think it fit. It's like, why not?
Well, it was helpful to call it something, but I think it's harder to diagnose, especially in women. And, in Tony Hawk's case, like, it really lent itself to becoming excellent. Like, if you can really focus on what you want to do, and you can, especially in that field where it's about physics and stuff, where he, like, just needs to understand how his body has to go and stuff. Like,
okay, really, and people were giving me a hard time for watching the videos on the physics of snowboarding. Come on.
Oh, who was? Oh. I didn't even give you a hard time about that. No. Who are these people?
Just somebody that I went on a date with. So I
Sarah.
didn't go on a date with them. Not now. Before I didn't go out with them again.
See, some dude made fun of you for wanting to understand the physics of the thing. I mean,
not
love.
Like maybe it wasn't like made fun, but like was kind of like, oh, that's interesting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, they didn't get it. They didn't get. If you don't like that about me, you're not going to. Oh, they didn't just get that. I was thinking second date. So this is like, you did not let him put it in your butt.
Right.
No, Susie, just a second date. Or even, it might have even been a first date. Oh, that's funny.
No, I think that's what that kind of thing is. It's all physics. So smart.
And that's all it is. And once you understand that, it's like, oh.
But he's been married 4 times. And so I think he has a bit of a problem, Maybe.
Relationships are difficult.
Yeah, maybe he's not really good at.
Because he doesn't seem like the wandering eye type.
I think he did have that. Well, I think when someone gets famous and like groupies are throwing themselves at you, you don't even need to have a wandering eye. It's just right there.
Okay, here's my question. Why do you not think this about Kenny G?
That he's on the spectrum?
Yeah.
Oh, he probably is. I just hadn't started this list yet at the time.
Oh, okay. Because I feel like I was wondering that, and you were like, I didn't. And
he didn't say that.
He didn't say that.
Right. But if I think back, yeah,
remember he said I didn't really like music. Like he didn't really like music. He just wanted to learn how to do it. He just wanted to be good at it. And then there were a few things where I was like,
I'll add him to my list. I'm going to write that down.
And then that makes some of the things. Susie's actually writing it down on the list. She's like, hang on, let me get my.
I got out my
She's
quill.
got to like categorize like the old timey, like not even that. Like people probably still have these, like a little address book, like little letters. That's under.
Yeah. Okay, Kenny G. I for real. That makes sense. I remember recently Hannah Gadsby was diagnosed, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. A lot of people, especially women, you don't catch it right away, and only later when you start to have relationships.
The social stuff has been built up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but anyway, the Tony Hawk thing was great, and it is like, here's what was compelling: the idea that the very thing that brings you the most joy and sort of like that joy of life, that feeling of like
joie
excitement, that it's kind of killing him and all of his colleagues because it's so destructive to his body. And they're all getting to that age where, like, they get a concussion, and then
Yeah.
you wonder, like, is this the end?
Yes.
But they can't stop.
This is for real. They can't.
It's for real.
I got to say, the guy I'm dating,
Yeah.
he loves snowboarding, like in the same way. Mm-hmm. Loves it.
Right.
And he had like a fall where he hit his head and like burst a blood vessel in his eye. And it got me thinking, like, oh my God, this is really, and there is no, he was like out the next day, like snowboarding again. Yeah. Suze, exactly. And I'm like, that makes me so nervous because like you can't take, they're like not going to stop doing it.
Maybe he's on the spectrum. I'm just
I'll
going to
take
keep
it.
saying that.
Yeah.
Do you think he might be?
I think I am in some ways. I think I have symptoms that are where I think that I don't have a full diagnosis. Maybe there's a lot of overlap in ADHD and spectrum disorder.
100%.
And, you know, and I know people in my family have a lot of symptoms like that. So I definitely think that I have symptoms that, especially like fixations and like I'll eat the same exact thing for a month. And then
like
I'm
for
not
breakfast
eat it
or
again.
something? Like a
Like
certain
for
meal?
every meal.
You mean for 3 square a day, you're eating
100%.
like
I mean that.
oatmeal or whatever.
Yes, I mean that.
Okay, I was not aware of this.
Oh, I get like a like
Did
it'll
you
be
hid
like
this from me all this time?
kinda. I think people see it as meal prepping and they just think I'm
She calls it meal prepping, but it's just like Xeroxing.
yes. Like I
Oh.
love it. I have my go-to meal. Like there's like
What's
5
the current one? What are you into?
Well, the current one is oatmeal.
Oatmeal and mac and cheese.
Yeah.
I didn't guess that, you guys. Right before we started, she was finishing her oatmeal. So
Yes.
that's why.
The mac and cheese was like an add-on that I just happened to have, but so that's like not on the regular programming right now.
But you're
the
eating like mainly oatmeal all day. Oh my God.
Well, just for like like for a couple days. But I'm probably gonna like then I'll like go out to dinner or something and it'll reset it. Oh no, now I'm embarrassed. I have no reason to be. It's fine.
No.
I think you know what I think it is? I think what it is that I'm in a transitional phase of my life right now where I literally don't even have kitchen utensils. My stuff hasn't been delivered yet from the moving trucks. Which is like, where the hell are they?
Well, and maybe it's similar to like how Mark Zuckerberg wears a hoodie every day. Like they want to eliminate a decision.
Yes, that's what it is.
And so you're just like, I'm just eating oatmeal. I don't want to think about it.
That's what it is. I can't because I'm overwhelmed right now because it's a new grocery store, which is overwhelming to me. If I go to like I'm like, don't even want to Uber Eats or DoorDash something or anything like that because I'm scared of not liking what I get and like them being disappointed with the food. And then there's nothing worse than like waiting like all day to like, oh, I'm going to have this meal for dinner and then you order it. It's like
let down.
the worst. So tried and true, but like it's specific. It's like this specific gluten-free oatmeal with a banana, half a banana mashed up in it with walnuts and a little splash of creamer.
Splash. Well, maybe we'll keep an eye on that. Maybe you have some things going on. Okay, let's talk about how how I got a new pair of glasses from a wonderful company that is working with us called Pair. Like, a pair of glasses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell me more.
Okay, it's so cool because first of all, I mean, I feel like I'm just behind the times, but like when you want to buy a pair, you go on and you can look at what they have and then you turn on your camera and it'll put them on you like the simulation.
It's like a try-on situation.
Yes, and it really worked because I was like, I could really try on like quote unquote glasses and then
it's like a filter. I love it.
It's a filter. I mean,
totally. Like,
So
we
there's
shouldn't be surprised that this technology works. If those yes.
That's what I mean. Like, okay,
Yes.
I get it.
I am equally as surprised, and now I get it. Okay, got
So
it.
they came, but also you can add on these magnetic things that stick on to change the color of them. So you can do different colors on the same pair.
Oh, nice. Like, change
You know?
them for the season. Change them to match your looks.
Totally. And so the other thing is, I don't
good
think a
for
lot
my
of people
indecisive
know
days.
that there is a company that has a monopoly on eyeglasses, which is why they're so overpriced. Sunnies and prescription eyewear. And so this company is doing the workaround. So that's why it's affordable.
I did not know that. Well, that's good. Thank you, guys.
Yes, thank you. So base frames start at just $60, including prescription lenses. And they have tons of different shapes, whether you want cat eye or those big ones everyone's into, different colors. And then you can remix with those magnetic things that pop on.
Ooh.
Just really cute. I love them.
I feel like teachers are going to love this because you know how teachers love doing
They do love a theme.
I think my grandma would have loved this. She always had the jewelry that was with the season.
Yes.
I could see somebody with red and white striped ones for Christmas time.
It's whimsical.
Whimsical.
Yes.
Who doesn't love some whimsy?
You can get glasses as unique as you are. One pair, infinite style, starting at just $60. Go to paireyewear.com/braincandy for 15% off your first purchase. That's 15% off at paireyewear.com/braincandy. I want to work with them. I mean, if you're listening, Pear, I want to work with you guys and do a brain candy. See, on the border of our logo and stuff.
Yes.
We have this cute doodle. We could definitely make that into a frame, like a magnetic frame to pop on.
That would be so
I want to
cool.
collab. I want to collab, Pear.
Oh my
okay?
gosh, what's a collab?
Let's do a collab. Okay. So.
Oh, I was going to say something about. Oh, I had an experience where there was words text up on a television, and I was like, I can't read it.
Oh, no.
Uh-huh.
You need readers?
I said, what does that say? Because I actually could not.
R.I.P. youth.
Yep, R.I.P. R.I.P. Remember? Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Sarah is literally, not literally, over the hill. Metaphorically over
That we learned last time.
the hill.
Yes. Yeah. I told my mom, I called my mom one day, and I said, Mom, it's happened. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell you how I feel, and you tell me the action I did that made me feel like this. And I said, I know I'm officially old now. And she goes, you went to thread a needle, didn't you? And I was like, yep, you got it.
Why?
Couldn't
Have you
do it.
guys talked about this before?
She used to because she was a wardrobe stylist, so she would always hand me her needles to thread. And I would always be like, how come you can't do this? It's so easy. And she was like, just wait.
Are
One
you
day,
kidding me?
you will go to put a needle up, or you will put to thread a needle, and you will realize that there will be a day where you have to pull it back, and do that whole
OMG.
and you will know that you are old. And that moment happened.
My God, you're so young though, Sarah.
Oh, this happened a year ago.
Oh my God. She
I
has
know.
premature aging, you guys.
Premature aging. That's so funny. Has that not happened to you yet?
No, but I think that it's because of my particular prescription. I have one bad eye and one good eye.
Oh, because you know what? You know when you hold one eye, I can do it. It's the
Right.
focusing them. Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's like where your disadvantage is now an advantage. Somehow you can do that.
I waited long enough.
Wow.
It paid off.
I'm fascinated by this. Okay, cool.
But I'm sure if I
Good
didn't
story.
have that, then I would be with you, holding menus way the hell out.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's with me in the Hold It Away From You Club? Woo!
That hurts. Okay, remember recently when we were talking about how the Girl Scouts were...
Oh my God, I re-listened to that episode. That was fucking hilarious. Tell me, did we
We were
get something
too mean
terribly
to them,
wrong?
weren't we? Were we?
Nope. I still stand by it because I re-listened to it, and I was I take the same position.
So you know how we say are men okay? I want to be are Girl Scouts okay? Because
Oh
there's
my God, there's
another
more?
story.
I don't think they're okay. Or are we just all not okay?
Well, that's for sure. We are all not okay. But it seems like the Girl Scouts are really having a crisis here because in the New York Times today, it said that
New York Times.
a lawsuit. I know, right? This sounds scary.
It's made it all the way to the top.
Yes. They sued, the Girl Scouts sued the Boy Scouts.
I'm sorry. That already is funny.
Right?
This is like one girl on the playground was like, oh yeah? My dad's going to sue your dad.
Well, like, listen, if anyone's
totally
going to...
serious, and I apologize.
No, it isn't. If anyone were going to be like, you know what, I'm inclined to side with the Girl Scouts in this lawsuit, it's us.
100%.
But the lawsuit was dismissed. Here's what they were suing about. They were mad that the Boy Scouts are using the word scouting, without specifying that it is Boy Scouting.
I am so annoyed.
Right?
You know what? That's the version what that is. That's like, okay, wait. Let me think of a good because I know that they're going to say it's in our name, like Girl Scout.
Well,
Okay,
yes. But
here's why I hate this. Because what is scouting in the definition?
Oh, okay.
I would imagine it's outdoorsy. It's getting in touch with nature. It's like doing something.
It's like looking for shit. Like I'm scouting this location.
Is there a difference in their mind between the activities? Because if I said I'm Girl Scouting, does that mean I'm fucking selling cookies?
Sewing, threading a needle.
Or sewing or threading a needle? Or cooking macaroni and cheese or oatmeal?
Right. Right. What are you saying?
What are you saying?
But that makes no sense. And they were arguing that it's confusing people, that people won't know who they mean. Because Boy Scouts, remember how they had to let girls join? So now if you're a girl, you can join the Boy Scouts. I think they are just mad. They have a bee in their bonnet about this.
Yes.
And they're like, maybe they're mad that the Boy Scouts are like taking some of their girls.
Can boys join Girl Scouts?
No, thank God.
How come?
Probably because of like predator concerns, but I don't know that. That's my guess. Like
little boys.
Yeah, but I bet you it's like how there's still all girls schools, but like the Citadel had to allow women.
Okay, because you can't.
Enroll,
Yes,
because it's seen as like an underprivileged group. I don't know that. I'm just guessing.
Yeah,
what if you could let? Maybe we should just let everybody join whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, this was an episode of Parks and Recreation.
Which part?
Where they had, oh my God, and the names are so cute I'm going to look it up, Parks and Recreation. And it was about like the Girl Scouts or like their version of the Pawnee Rangers and the Pawnee Goddesses.
Yeah, goddesses.
Because you could tell Leslie Knope was like, we're the goddesses. You know, it was probably some situation like what I was in where they had Indian princesses and they were like, that's definitely cultural appropriation. We're going to change it to the Pawnee Goddesses. That's
exactly. Like that is too, though.
And so, and they were not letting, because the girls there was one girl who wanted to join the Pawnee Rangers and do the outdoorsy stuff. And they're like, you can't do that. You're a girl. And then they, and Leslie Knope was like, well, I'm not having any of that. And then she had to do that. Well, okay, can boys join? Some boys want to join the Pawnee Goddesses. And so they had, and then everybody was just doing everything, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll probably come to that. In evangelical church, or I guess it was Pentecostal, we had the Royal Rangers. That was the boy one. And the girl one was called the Missionettes.
No!
Oh, yeah.
No!
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yours sounds like work. Theirs sounds like...
Work for the Lord.
Parades.
Is what that is. So you feel like right, because Missionette sounds like we had a lot of work to do, and Royal Rangers sounded like really awesome.
Royal Rangers are like
they're regal.
Like they're like maybe also militant. They're like
well, definitely. There's a lot of that language. Yeah. Any hoodles. I'm just saying, Girl Scouts, are you okay? Because
Yeah.
Maybe this doesn't matter.
Is this where we're putting Girl Scout cookie money towards? Is this where our Girl Scout cookie money is going?
We are going to get so much hate mail, Sarah.
What are they going to say?
They're going to say...
Do they support the lawsuit?
No, they're going to say you should support this organization. It's good for girls. And we're going to say we do. We just don't think the word scouting should be like just... you don't have to specify what gender. It's okay. Not everything has to be gendered.
Yeah, but I'm still not 100% it is that great for girls.
Why? I think
you can go ahead and send me mail on that. I don't know.
Well, maybe we do need to be educated, but I think
I don't know, but I feel like the things that get highlighted in Girl Scouts are
not good. I thought they were good. They do they do STEM stuff.
Okay, that's great.
And I thought, nature, we're into that.
Yeah.
I what
I just don't like? I don't like the making children sell stuff.
That's
it's the cookie sales aspect that I wish were separate.
That's
I'm
the
not
best
kidding.
part.
If I were a little girl, I do not. Why? Why
well, they're
is
delicious
that the best part?
only.
Yeah.
The reason.
Then the moms can sell them, but I feel like there's not. And if you're going to tell me that it teaches kids about how to put them, no, there are other things to do that because I was mortified and embarrassed, and I hate it, and I felt very uncomfortable as a child asking people for money for things. I hate any of those. I don't like them. I don't think we should put children to work in
soliciting.
Okay. Am I crazy in this?
No, I feel like
this isn't going to be an unpopular opinion because they're going to say, well, how do we fund these things? I just feel like...
I think they're going to say, we're so much more than that, and here's all the things we teach young girls, and here's why it's important.
agree with that. I should have been specific. Girl Scouting is fine.
Send your
selling
hate mail
cookies,
to Sarah, please.
Selling
everyone.
Cookies, not fine.
Why don't we just give them a KiwiCo box and call it a day?
That I'm all for.
Yes.
If they did that at their Girl Scout troop meetings, I'd be super into it.
Right, because if you
do
want to
that
learn
instead
STEM,
of selling cookies.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you want to learn hands-on science and art and geography, KiwiCo is where it's at. They have boxes for every age. Come right to your door and give a really fun, creative project for your kids to do. We love it over here. And it is educational, but it is fun, not that pretend fun where people are like, well, we make learning fun, and then it's not fun at all. This isn't like that.
Fun. Right.
Yes.
I have, as an adult, done multiple of these boxes. In fact, I found one when I was moving that I have here that I may just enjoy this weekend.
See?
Yes.
This is any age. Step into spring. Celebrate the season of discovery with KiwiCo subscription. Get 30% off your first month plus free shipping on any crate line with code BRAINCANDY at kiwico.com. That's 30% off your first month at KIWICO.com. Promo code BRAINCANDY.
All Girl Scout people are going to be mad at me. I do not know anything about what they do in Girl Scouts. I never even did Girl Scouts.
You just don't like the fundraising.
I just don't like fundraising. That is the part, because I remember being the child who felt awful doing that. So it feels like that, maybe it's the only part of Girl Scouts I hear about or know about or get connected. It feels like they're always selling cookies. And does it really only happen once a year?
Yeah, really. That's true. You got to stock up, which I do. Okay. Well, anyway, the judge agreed with me and was like, this is ridiculous. So they did not win, and they're very upset about it. Anywho, I read... They are. They're very upset.
They're gonna
Sarah
just
had a joke
wash
that
the
she
feelings
sucked
down with
back
some
in.
Thin Mints. That's what I wanted.
Okay, I read a fantastic article in LitHub, and it was asking the question whether creativity required sadness. You know how that's the stereotype of like the tortured poet and, you know, the tortured artist. You don't know about that?
I do. I'm thinking about... I think yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's essentially what it concluded, was that, not that it's essential, but that they did these studies and they found that it really does, sadness really does enhance creativity. I'll give you some examples after Sarah says what she has to say.
Very
Very
important. You know I'm
important.
dying.
Yes.
I would disagree in saying that you need sadness to have creativity. I think creativity is a coping mechanism for sadness.
Oh, I see. So you become creative as a way of dealing with
sadness.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they do. I think they are paired, but that's the connection I see.
It said that people who work in the arts are 8 to 10 times more likely than others to suffer from mood disorders, for starters, which that is a lot. 8 to times more.
Wow.
8 to
10 times more likely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And then they I love when they do stuff like this. They used linguistic analytical software to study letters written by Mozart and Beethoven.
Oh, I love that too. Yes.
And they traced their letters. Okay. When their letters referred to positive emotions, like they used words like happiness, or negative ones like grief. Mm-hmm. And then they determined how these feelings related to the quantity and quality of the music they composed at that exact time, which is bonkers. And I love it.
Yep.
They found that an artist's negative emotions were not only correlated with, but also predictive of their creative output. And so, like, the sadder they were, the better this shit was.
Yep.
Isn't that bunky?
I love when, like, the studies show, when you can, the data shows that.
The data shows it.
Because it almost makes me sad because.
But then she's going to be real creative.
Then I'm going to be creative, so don't worry, guys. Yeah. Because we've seen, as a mental health professional, I see all the time in my own work and in articles and information out there, there is such a growing number of children and adolescents who are struggling with depression and anxiety. And then what do we do in the schools? What are the first programs that get the old snippety snip?
Yeah, right.
The things that could be the exact cure and the reliever of maybe some of those feelings and symptoms, or at least an outlet to put those feelings into. And now we're cutting it off and we're saying instead, do this work right here, and wondering why that's hard.
Why they keep getting worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
I'm sorry. That is infuriating to me.
Hold that thought. I'm just gonna take this here sweater off
Woo!
and get all worked up. Yeah.
So you might see Sarah's nip and Susie's neckline because she's not wearing a turtleneck anymore, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, let me read you this study that was included in the article, which I thought was interesting. They made these students, speak to an audience about their dream jobs, and unbeknownst to them, they arranged for some of the people to have an audience that was like really receptive, nodding affirmatively and smiling. And then other people had an audience where they were frowning and shaking their head. And then after the talk, they asked the students how they were feeling. And the people that bombed, were obviously bummed out about it. But then they asked all the students to make a collage. And then they rated them for creativity. Professional artists rated them. Yeah. And the students who faced disapproving audiences created better collages than those that were smiled
Come on,
upon.
It's a coping strategy.
Yeah. And
that's so obvious to me.
The ones that were the worst, that had the most suffering, made the best collages. So there you go.
We have to provide creative outlets when there is trauma.
Although, I would like to see an accompaniment with this study is then, was their mood improved?
Yes, that's the after
Because what if it's
one.
just like they make great art, but they're still like suicidal or whatever? That's not. I mean, I'd love to see their art, but
I feel like even just the awareness that the artists that they looked at and researched for this went on to create more art and became the people that they did show that it isn't like they just get sad and then like it keeps them going.
Yeah.
It's beneficial. I really would. I do think that is the second. You're so right. That is like what is missing is the how are the moods. Because, okay. Because think about what this does. When you create something that's creative and you sit back and you're like, wow, I like that. It boosts your mood. Mm-hmm. Everything that we do serves a function.
Okay.
Even things that we're not consciously aware of. So if we're not even consciously aware.
There's no way that they could feel worse after having done that. Okay.
Correct. Mm-hmm. Correct. I would bet dollars to donuts. I would, yes. The most you could bet.
Right. That is the most intense bet there is. Dollars to donuts.
The most intense bet there is.
Right.
That they are not, that is the, what you just said. That they can't feel sad afterward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no way it makes them worse.
There's no way it makes them worse.
It probably makes them feel better.
Nobody's composed a beautiful piece of music and throws it down and goes, well, I feel shitty.
I feel worse than I did before.
You think Vincent van Gogh put the last stroke on Starry Night and was like, well, now I feel awful. No, it was the opposite feeling. He did it all for the feeling of satisfaction that comes with the. Oh, that's so deep, Susie. I love this. I love this. The stories A+.
That was a good one. That was in Lit Hub. And it was one of those articles where like every line you're like, oh my God. Because it's
that's
just
what
like
I'm thinking here.
Really blows your mind. I'll post that in my close friends too.
It's just making me think so many different things. So I just love that. And I think that it's also, why so much of therapy with children is just let them be creative.
Yeah.
Not so much the only therapy with children. Yeah. There's directive therapy or non-directive therapy. And non-directive is you just sit back and you watch them create and you don't even give any comments of good or bad. You just say what is. Oh, you're playing with the boat there. Oh, you can't even say you like playing with the boat. Oh, it looks like you like playing with the boat. Nope, that's giving an opinion. It's just
facts.
And then if they want you to play, you say, "Oh, you want me to join in."
Don't ever do this to me.
You're not a child.
I know, but I can see you doing it. Where you're like,
you'll be like, "Oh, you're stirring that bread. You're mixing the bread."
I can see it.
Yeah.
Well, I was actually having this conversation with Link recently because we were watching that new Netflix show called Is It Cake?
Oh my God. I watched it too. I thought there's no way I could like this.
Oh, right.
2 hours later.
Right. It's a real kick in the teeth, by the way, if you've ever pitched any show ideas to Netflix, which I have had. I've done this, and they're like, no, thanks, but no thanks. And then you're like, but they said yes to Is It Cake? Okay.
Which is also fascinating for like 1,000 reasons. As somebody, did you watch the first episode and then the second episode?
Yes.
And how they didn't know what they were doing either, and they were just making it up as they went along?
Yes.
Did you notice that?
Totally winging it.
Totally winging it, where they were having them come up, like the contestants who just lost were like then serving their cake to the judges. And even the host was like, this feels awkward. Next episode, they did not do that.
Yeah.
I was like, they are fucking making this shit up as they go.
Yeah, they are. But it is fun to watch.
It's so fun.
If you haven't seen it.
So many things aren't cake.
Yeah. So many things are cake.
Exactly.
That's what I took away. But anyway, and there's a contestant, if I'm sure you'll remember, who has that green hair, and he wears like really funky glasses that are like clearly handmade, that are made of like eyeballs or something, like plastic eyeballs, and not actual eyeballs. And Lincoln was like, "Why does he look like that?" And I was like, oh, that's like self-expression, man. That's like when sometimes when you feel different, like instead of trying to become like everyone else, you almost want it to be even more different.
What a good explanation.
And I wondered though if it was like, I wondered like, wonder what he's thinking right now about that. Like if he thinks
that's a good explanation.
Well, and I think it's true because, I mean, he's from Des Moines, Iowa, this guy, and I'm sure he's gay. I think he said he is. And he has a bakery called Freak Show Bakery.
Yeah.
Like, this is part of his identity. It's a whole persona. And, like, he's fun and interesting, but, like, I can see how a kid would be like, what is happening here?
I feel like I want to go with the same tattoo explanation. I'm colorful on the inside, and I want the outside to match.
I'll tell him that because he doesn't.
I'm really funny on
yours.
the inside. I think I said that to Lincoln.
Yeah,
because Lincoln has asked me when he was younger. He'd be like, "Why do you have all those tattoos? Why do you have that?"
Okay.
Well, I'm really fun and colorful on the inside, so I want the outside to look the same as how I feel on the inside.
Yeah,
which I think is also a nice way to introduce a lot of other things.
Yes.
I want the outside to look like how I feel on the inside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. It's cool. And it's like what we're talking about with all this creativity and stuff. Like, people want to get it out, whether it's a symphony or blue hair or whatever. They just want to get whatever's in there, get it out of there. Yeah. But on the same sort of, well, let me just say, I'll take a break. Last episode or last week, we talked about my hair tragedy, right? Yes. R.I.P. my hair.
Dude, Suze, I did not stop thinking about this, and then I told the next, 4 people I saw about this.
It really does suck.
And then they were all in shock that you calmed down the hairdresser.
Yeah, I talked her off the ledge. It was intense, and she was, panic attacking. But as I mentioned, luckily, we have a partner, Nutrafol, that we are working with now, that is hopefully my redemption, my savior.
Yes. I know that it will be because my friend who had a baby, and then I gave her a bottle of this, saw an ad for it, was like, oh, let me get her something. She loved it. Yes.
I mean, a lot of people have hair issues from stress or pregnancy, like you said, like postpartum stuff, or in my case, just damaged processing type of stuff. And you do feel like it gives you anxiety and stress because it's your crown and glory.
100%. So I think about it all the time.
And Nutrafol is a dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement. Just take it every day. I take it every morning, and it will improve. It's clinically shown to improve your hair growth, thickness, and visible scalp coverage.
Well, now I want this.
Right. And
visible scalp coverage. These sides, that along with not seeing anything anymore, you also will have some visible scalp on the side of your temples, apparently.
Right here. Right? Yeah. Is that what you mean? Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And they have 3 formulas to support women throughout all stages of life. I am very excited about it. I want to get back on track after the disaster. You can grow thicker, healthier hair and support our show by going to Nutrafol.com and entering our code BRAINCANDY to save $15 off your first month subscription. This is their best offer anywhere, and it's only available to U.S. customers for a limited time. Plus free shipping on every order. Get $15 off at Nutrafol.com. It's spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code BRAINCANDY. I'm psyched. I've heard such good things, and I really need all the help I can get. So thank you, Nutrafol. Okay, so anyway, in keeping with this theme of music and creation and whatever, I just read about this guy, this Japanese composer, modern day, who pretended to be deaf. He pretended to be deaf to do this whole I'm a genius thing, which we do with composers, where they have to have some sort of ridiculous obstacle to overcome. Right.
How do you pretend to be deaf?
This is what's hilarious to me. Let me the funniest part for me is how he was found out because he was doing this interview for a magazine, and they obviously had like an interpreter, and he would start answering the questions before the interpreter was done. And then like when the doorbell rang, he went up and got it.
Oh, see, I'm like, this is too easy to mess up on. He went up and got the doorbell.
Yes, like, what the hell? My man, you... Yeah. And the funniest part to me, maybe, is that he didn't even write the music. He was also plagiarizing the music. So it's not even like he just wanted to make it seem cooler.
What are the he's Milli Vanilli and he's Milli and Vanilli.
Yes. Yes, Sarah. For real.
It's both.
It'd be like, yeah, like if Milli Vanilli...
And I know that Milli, it wasn't like one of them did one thing and one of them did another. I do know this, or anybody who's breaking down that joke right now and being like, Sarah, that's not...
Well, actually...
Actually, my joke. You know what I was going for. It's right. The more the feeling...
If Milli Vanilli also pretended to be like in a wheelchair, this is what it would be like. Like, it's ridiculous.
That's okay. This is right in line. This is why there are rumors about. Oh my God! I almost said Samuel L. Jackson. Nope, not him. Stevie Wonder.
Oh,
have you heard? Oh, yes. Who is it? Shaquille O'Neal has a Stevie Wonder story that is really funny.
I think we talked about it. Stevie but it was Wonder. Debunked.
Of course obviously, it was. We know Stevie Wonder is blind, but Shaquille O'Neal and Stevie Wonder live in the same building in, I want to say in like off Wilshire, like in LA. And Shaquille O'Neal.
That is funny.
Right? That alone. I'm like, I have to know who else lives in that building because guaranteed.
Are you having to hold in the plug on your computer to like
100%.
You can't let go?
No. I'm going. I want to try to find the edge. I have a plug in my desk, but I have to plug in my computer. But
you should do that.
I didn't want to interrupt the flow of our conversation.
No, I know it's so nice.
So instead, people on Patreon will see me doing everything to try to get to my plug.
I tried to ignore it, but I couldn't.
And I was like, eventually she's probably going to say something. Hopefully before 1%, because I'm at 2% right now. I better plug this bad boy in.
She really tries, you guys. It's so great. I
try so hard.
I love it.
I try so hard. There we go. Shout out to this desk that has shout
out to this desk.
USB plugs in it.
Shout out to that. That's really handy.
Right? So, like, everything around me is trying to help me out and working in my favor, yet still somehow.
Okay, Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, yeah. Wonder. So, Shaquille O'Neal, Stevie Wonder, live in the same building. Shaquille O'Neal's going to he's already in the elevator, sees Stevie Wonder coming, holds the elevator open for him, doesn't say a word. Stevie Wonder gets into the elevator and goes, "Thanks, Shaq." What? I heard this from Shaquille O'Neal, not IRL, but in an interview he did.
Do you think that it was like the smell, his smell?
I was thinking that. I was like, I was thinking he maybe took a step and you would hear the difference in shoe size. That was my theory.
Totally.
Is that if a size 24 foot or whatever size... Totally. Guaranteed that his feet are that size. Like, what the hell? Yeah. They're probably bigger than that. I don't even know. But Shaquille, I bet Steve, and how many people, and if he knows that Shaquille O'Neal lives in my building, I feel like.
Well, right. I mean, that's the thing. He at least knew
but
that.
It was certainly a fun, thing to do in my head.
Well,
I mean. Is he
I would wonder,
23 is his shoe size. What did I say, 24? I was one off. So
I wonder, though, is it vibrational or scent or both? Or what are the other ones? No,
what do you think
not
Shaquille O'Neal
taste.
Smells like?
Maybe he wears like a certain cologne or something.
For sure.
Yeah. He probably has his own, like, Shaq.
I know, that's what I was going to say. I feel like he has one. And then wouldn't it be funny if he, like, had one, but he wore, like, Michael Jordan's cologne? That would be funny.
Yeah, that conspiracy theory was one of my least favorite ones.
What? That was one of my favorites because it's so ridiculous.
Well, it's funny, but it's like there isn't even part of me that thought it could be true. I need it to be like almost like I could believe it.
Though I love a personal like rumor, like conspiracy theory about what it reminds me of, which I can't believe. I don't know if I've ever told this story on here. If you're a Challenge fan, Katie Doyle from The Challenge is the best at making up fake rumors about people.
Oh, yes, she is good at that.
The best ever. She has two that I'm aware of that she has created that are so funny, I can't even take it. Very convincing because they're just weird enough to be believable, but or like they're too weird to like. You're like,
did she eventually admit it? That like just,
not she has not admitted. There are a couple of the one I heard. One of them I know she has not admitted. I don't know about the other. But she, on Cutthroat Challenge, started a rumor that she walked in on Dunbar, tweaking his nipples, like pinching his nipples, and breathing in the mirror, like...
to psych himself up.
To psych himself up. Which, if you know Dunbar, totally could be believable.
Yeah.
Very, like... And so he had to... He was like, I didn't do that, I swear. And the more he denied it, the more she was like... Why do you care so much then?
Right.
It was so good. And so that was the one she never let up on, but I know it wasn't true. And the other one that she made up, I think you told me. Do you remember?
Mm-mm.
Or maybe, who knows who I heard this from. She started a rumor that Adam King's butthole is a little off center. That it's not in line with the crack.
I have heard that rumor. See,
you've heard the rumor.
Funny. That's so funny.
She made that up. That it's not she said it's just a little to the left, and he has to like sit different when he goes to the bathroom or something. But like that's because you'd think like, okay, people on the Challenge are weird enough for that to be a thing. Like who knows? So I like those weird rumors. So
would you say that the Stevie Wonder one falls into that? Oh,
yes. Where
that
somebody
you
was
think
like,
he went his whole life pretending to be blind. That is believable to you?
No, it's so crazy that, like, it's not true, but it's a fun thing to just be online, like, be on board for that. Because what if? Yes. Yeah. Because, like, and then hearing people's stories about it are more funny than the actual, that big, Okay. Shaquille O'Neal's story is a funnier story than the whole conspiracy theory in itself. I don't know.
I forgot to talk about another documentary, by the way. I was going to do Tony Hawk and this other one to tell you about. It's on Netflix, the Jimmy Savile
Who's that?
story. It was huge in the UK. He was a popular TV host of a show called Jimmy'll Fix It.
Oh,
and it's, I don't know how many episodes, but it's a series. And the thing is, like, this guy, you take one look at him and you're like, that's a predator.
Oh, God. He's got that look.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, oh, really? These Brits it never occurred to them that maybe, like, this guy shouldn't be trusted. Because he was also very creepy in interviews and stuff.
Yeah.
But then I remembered, like, Michael Jackson, so I was like, okay, well.
And, like, every single murderer, like, ever.
Yeah, like, he groomed a country. That's how I see it. Like, he groomed a country.
Oh, God.
The way he accomplished his predation was by volunteering at hospitals and school for, like orphanages. And you think, well, that's so generous. But that's who he was preying upon.
Oh, yeah.
And the worst part is that none of this came out until after he died. And
so even all the victims were quiet.
Guess how many there were in the end, and I'm sure there were more.
Okay.
I'll just tell you because I don't want you to guess.
I don't.
450 plus people. Like
that
it is
all
so
came out
bad.
Afterwards?
Yeah, because he was so good at it that they all thought they were the only one.
Oh my God, he did groom a whole country.
And
what was this documentary called?
Jimmy Savile, and then I don't know what the subtitle was, but it's just his story.
Oh, my God.
And it's just like, it's fascinating to see how charisma and fame and power can shield you from accountability. And then also how, like, media people kind of cover for each other a lot.
Yeah.
And when you see someone on TV, you sort of like, you just think, oh, well, they're just a character, instead of thinking like, that's creepy and weird. Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
If you watched it, you won't believe it, because the show Jimmy Will Fix It was for kids. I mean, this was not. Yeah. It's insane.
Ew. Even just the title.
Right?
Jimmy Will Fix It.
Ew.
Ew.
That's what a predator would say.
Yeah, Susie.
I know. And
when did this take place?
This was like the 80s.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
See,
And,
this is why that whole stranger danger thing was the worst thing.
He wrote a book that was about stranger danger.
Okay.
This is how good he was. Like, he covered all his bases.
Yeah.
He knew he wasn't a stranger to anyone.
Right.
The whole country knew him.
Oh, fuck. That's so
It's
scary.
insane. So I
want to
really
see that, and I want to see his picture.
Did you not see him? Google that guy.
No, I didn't. Because
You have to. Is
all of
something
a
wrong
sudden,
with
my
your computer?
computer's like dragging.
Okay, I'm going to show. Oh, you probably can't see me because the screen's frozen. I mean, you won't believe it. I mean, it's basically
why
like,
is it doing
imagine in your mind what the creepiest predator would look like. That's what he looked like.
Oh, did he have those glasses?
He had glasses. He had like
I know exactly what
weird
glasses he had.
bob. It's super weird. Anyway, I liked watching it though, because I think it's important to see how power works. And, you know, we saw it with Harvey Weinstein. We see it with a lot of these guys that are successful.
Yeah.
But like, it's good to be reminded, because the human mind is really inclined to believe people. Like, even when all the evidence...
Well, no, this is you are 100% right.
Yeah.
We are not only is the human, we are biologically programmed to do that.
To assume people are telling the truth.
To assume, because it comes from a need to believe that our caregivers are going to look out for us. Like, we're so helpless and we're at the mercy of our caregivers that, like, we have this we like need to be shown that people are good. Mm-hmm. And this desire to believe that people are good. And so that's what we look for. And that's where like a bunch of attachment shit stems from.
Well, it makes sense, because it is bad. And we all do this every day. Like, when someone tells us something, we're inclined to believe it, whether or not the evidence supports it. Yeah. And so I was just telling this to Adam. The older I get, the more I realize that thing where you think, just briefly, like, it'll flash in your mind, like you'll be watching someone do something and you'll think, that was weird. Like, lean into that.
Yes.
Anytime you have that, like,
Oh, he absolutely... I know exactly who this is.
You do?
I've seen this guy.
Yeah. He was super famous in the UK.
Oh, God!
It'd be like if Mr. Rogers turned out to be a predator, except in all of his interviews, he says creepy things. He practically admits to it on the air constantly. So it's almost like it was just hiding in plain sight kind of deal.
Yes, that's exactly what that is. Oh, my God.
So there you go. Let's wind it down. After we talk about predators, let's
he had a board game.
Down. Was it called Jimmy Will Fix It?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You will be fascinated, because everything about his life was like, oh, yeah, he's definitely a predator. Anyway, Tony Hawk.
Oh, my Lord. Okay, so Tony Hawk is a definite C.
Fascinating to see how somebody's like, the thing that makes their life great is also sort of like their undoing, which kind of is all of us in one way or another.
Flip side to every coin.
Yes. Sarah evidently is eating oatmeal nonstop. We didn't know that.
It's just sometimes it's my favorite chili.
Your favorite.
And sometimes I get Yeah, like my go-to chili that I like to make, and then I mix it up for breakfast. I'll put eggs in it, so it's like a different meal.
Yeah.
That's different.
It's just like the start of a meal.
Yeah.
Yeah, the palate.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Sarah has premature aging.
Yeah, well, so
what? So what?
Yeah, and what are you going to do about it?
We learned that the Girl Scouts maybe are having tough times.
And also, Sarah would like to apologize to all Girl Scouts out there.
Too little, too late.
Totally, 100%. And really just learned that I have a problem with soliciting.
Yeah, she doesn't like fundraisers at all.
I don't like fundraisers. There's nothing fun about them.
Good one. There was a guy that pretended to be deaf. That was ridiculous.
Oh, right.
Oh, suffering kind of really helps you be creative. So if you're suffering, maybe that could be your silver lining.
Or if you're suffering and you're like, I don't want to be suffering anymore. We don't have the data on this, but you should probably do something creative because maybe you'll feel better.
Yeah, think about it.
Because we assume that nobody finishes a wonderful piece of anything and is like, I feel worse.
Yeah, okay. And then Stevie Wonder, is he blind?
Not according to Shaquille O'Neal.
And then watch the Predator doc. Okay, we gotta wrap it up here, people. I mean, you gotta
don't.
use our codes. It makes such a difference anytime you use our code.
Yeah.
Subscribe and tell a friend and all that jazz.
We love you.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.